Good evening, everyone, and grand rising to the Galactic Jedi's, freedom fighters, patriots. Welcome so much to another exciting update. Tonight, I want to go over Antarctica and one of the main events that actually happened in the last couple of days, where the reptilian stronghold, where the Dracos were actually using one of the underground caverns to exist for thousands of years, have finally been taken out. So a lot of this connects with what's happening in the northern gate with Greenland, as Antarctica is the southern gate, and how all 12 gates need to be secured by the forces of light in order to facilitate a smooth and steady transition into the new earth. Welcome, everybody. I want to extend gratitude to all the people that are on here and also those that watch it on the replay, and especially to my moderators. Thank you guys so much for being here. It is an exciting time to be alive. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, depending on where you're at in the world. Now, two things before I give the presentation. The first thing is, I've actually been working on two books. I wanted to surprise you guys with a second book that I've been secretly writing for the last few months, and that is an autobiography of my life. It is titled The Cosmic Evolution of Ishmael Perez, from the moment I became aware of my earthly existence to the present day, divided in 10 chapters. The first chapter covers my toddler years all the way up until the age of 12, what life was like, the hardships and everything that I underwent as a kid, being different. Now, I'm not going to release this book till probably sometime in the summer. However, for only 20 people, I decided to do a 90-minute presentation where I go over the first chapter, which covers the years from my toddler experience to the age of 12. And that link is in the description as well as in my website for those that are interested in partaking in that 90-minute intimate session with me. Well, I explain my youthful years, my life as a kid, and beyond anything that I've ever shared before. So for only 20 people, if you guys are interested in accessing that 90-minute presentation, go to my website or cosmicorigin.com to secure your spot. I believe I only have about 14 spots left. Some of my students in my earlier classes have already booked it. So that is going to take place next Sunday on the 15th, not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday on the 15th of February. So I'm excited about that as well. And so, yeah, another thing I wanted to mention is that I will be presenting at the Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo this coming February the 20th in the Rabbit Hole Room. And if you guys are interested in coming to the Conscious Life Expo, please go through my link. And then for those that cannot make the event in person, I do have a live stream available through my website, or cosmicorigin.com. And I believe it's limited. I think Zoom is only going to allow me to allow 200 people maximum to view the streaming. This is going to be a new cosmic presentation regarding the human design, with a little bit of cosmic history that I've never shared before. And of course, I'm going to teach you guys how to activate your superhuman abilities. This is beyond my ascension courses, so make sure you guys access that link or that stream through my website, or cosmicorigin.com. And also, this coming Wednesday, guys, I'm going to be part of a online live. It's called Global Peace Tribe. And you could actually access the website, one second, by going to this, one second here, by going to the website that is called, if you go to www.globalpeacetribe.com, you could actually access this free streaming, which is previewing the Conscious Life Expo and some of the other presenters that are going to be part of this streaming this coming Wednesday is, of course, Billy Carson, Scott Katanas, Deborah Gusti, myself, Brandy Weld, Clint Rogers, Wendy Reitz, Andrea Ramos, and house musical artist Nozhar. Okay, so it's going to be all of these people that are going to be live streaming through this website. So that's what I'm going to be doing this Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock Pacific time. So I won't be going live due to this special live event, Global Peace Tribe. And so again, in order to access this streaming, go to globalpeacetribe.com so that you guys could see me with all of these other people. And anything else? I guess that is it. All right, we could get right into it now. Oh, yes. Regarding Folium, I just text Bobry, and he says that, yes, thank God everything is in stock, but limited supply. So it's first come, first serve, as there is a huge demand for this product, Folium, right? The stuff that takes away the graphene oxide, nanotechnology, metals, radiation, so that the natural healing process of your body takes effect. Now, disclaimer, I am not a doctor, but I do believe in clearing your body from nanoparticulates, especially the stuff that they, put in people's body. So he says we are expending our special on Immuna for a limited time. So that special 3 for the price of 2, 5 for the price of 3 still available through my links. He says we are getting phone calls, every email, text, single, God's given day thanking us, and your show for Folium. All right. So Immuno is the single most powerful and most effective product right now. Immuno. So that is Folium Immuno. So it's best that you guys take advantage of the discount right now that is happening. Thank you, Bobry, for letting me know. All right. I think we're going to get right into it. I hope you guys are enjoying your evening, morning, or afternoon, depending on when you watch this. All right, so let's talk about what's happening right now. This is coming from the Jupiter Command. And for those that are unfamiliar with Antarctica, well, Antarctica is not just a continent, it is a multi-dimensional archive. It is actually also a technological vault where many advanced alien technologies have been hidden for millenniums. And it's also a geophysical keystone that has been directly tied to the extraterrestrial presence on this planet, including advanced pre-human civilizations that still continue to exist there, and hidden land masses that have long been removed from the official maps. Of course, many of you guys have heard of these extra continents that we don't have access to. Well, the gateway to access these continents is through Antarctica. So, Antarctica has been a restricted planetary zone. Okay. It is part of what they call the Antarctic Treaty System that was signed by dozens of nations, that has effectively froze that territorial region from, of course, public access. Okay. So what's happening right now is a huge purging. Okay. This is an unprecedented point in human history, my friends. So from a cosmic level and clearance intelligence perspective, you could say that Antarctica functions as a quarantine zone established after earlier planetary collapse cycles. And of course, every ancient records, both esoteric, which means secret, and suppressed scientific, all describe Antarctica as being a temperate, verdant, and inhabited region before this rapid crustal displacement that buried the entire civilization under ice. So it has been revealed that Antarctica was once a rainforest, a tropical rainforest. It was like Greenland before the ice came into existence. Okay. And extraterrestrials have, for millennium, existed underneath the ice, where multiple intelligent leaks, including whistleblower testimonies, have all confirmed that this anomalous data has converged on one conclusion, and that is that Antarctica has host active and dormant non-human installations for thousands of years, which include subglacial bases embedded beneath kilometers deep into the ice, also vaulted craft that were preserved in stasis, often referred to as Ark class or seed vault vessels. You guys have heard of the arcs, right? A lot of these arcs are in Antarctica. And interstellar relay nodes that have been tied to the Earth's magnetic and crystalline grids. So, unlike surface level UFO activity, Antarctica presents static presence and a non-flyby interaction. Okay, these installations are ancient. Okay, they're hiding something. Some predating known human civilizations and are overseen by non-hostile custodial intelligence that are aligned with planetary preservation. So disclosure cannot proceed without addressing Antarctica. In fact, part of the disclosure will be unveiling the truth about Antarctica, because this is where the receipts are buried, literally, regarding our cosmic history, guys. It turns out that there's been many advanced technologies that have been locked away in Antarctica. Antarctica, in fact, houses technologies that would instantly destabilize the current world order if released prematurely. And this is why it was important for the Alliance to recover the Antarctica bases and to clear not only the Dark Fleet from their presence in Base 22, okay, but also recently clear out the reptilian Draco colony that existed in one of these subterranean in one of the subterranean layers. So some of the technologies that are going to be released when they, again, reveal the truth about Antarctica is zero point and vacuum energy systems, as well as gravity nullification propulsion platforms, crystalline data libraries capable of storing planetary timelines, and even atmospheric and geomagnetic stabilization devices. And so these systems were not built by modern humans, obviously. They were inherited, safeguarded, and partially reverse engineered by covert programs operating beyond civilian oversight. And this is why Antarctica has remained sealed up until now. Okay? It is known that for quite some time, it was impossible for Tier 1 breakaway groups to explain free energy and anti-gravitics to a population that has been dumbed down, okay? Or even explain interstellar travel without collapsing the fossil fuel database control structures overnight. And so this is why disclosure requires sequence. Okay? Antarctica is part of that design. So it is important to understand that these hidden continents that are accessed through Antarctica requires satellite anomalies, bathymetric scans, and ancient cartography, including the pre-ice age maps that indicate the existence of submerged or ice-covered landmasses in and around Antarctica. And these are not lost continents in the mythic sense, okay? They are land masses that were displaced or concealed due to rapid pole shifts in previous cycles. I mentioned the different pole shifts that have taken place in prior epochs in the last presentation, all right? Also, ocean level resets and deliberate obfuscation after cataclysmic events. So some of these regions are believed to have hosted non-human and hybrid civilizations for millions of years, operating as Earth-based star hubs long before recorded history. And so in light of all this, Antarctica is central to the disclosure. So as disclosure progresses, and yes, Trump is tasked with revealing the alien presence, the advanced technologies. Before summer, time is ticking for the Alliance to disclose. All right, so as disclosure progresses, humanity will confront the truth that the Earth's surface map has been edited, and Antarctica is the key in restoring the original maps. So, why is Antarctica central to ET disclosure? Some of you guys might be thinking. Well, because surface sightings are preparing the mind collectively. And therefore, in light of this, Antarctica changes the paradigm. A lot of the evidence is there regarding disclosure. People want evidence, they want artifacts, they want alien technology. Okay? So, once Antarctica is openly discussed, the following truths are going to become unavoidable, and that is that humanity is not the first ancient civilization on Earth. Okay, there's been pre-human civilizations that have existed here going back to millions of years. Also, that Earth has been part of a larger galactic network, and that non-human intelligence have acted as custodians when it comes to these regions. So our history has been deliberately compressed and sanitized multiple times. And this is why disclosure is accelerating now. The planet is entering a new energetic and evolutionary phase due to the photon belt. And the systems that are buried beneath Antarctica are tied to that transition. So Antarctica cannot remain hidden anymore, my friends. Okay? It's melting. The ice is losing. It is exposing. The ice is melting and it is exposing structures that were meant to be kept secret from the general public. Global sensors are detecting increasing subglacial activity right now. Solar and geomagnetic cycles are reactivating dormant systems. Humanity's collective awareness is crossing a threshold as I speak. Therefore, disclosure is no longer optional, my friends. It is containment and it is unavoidable. Okay, it is contained and it is unavoidable. So, I want to appreciate all the love. Thank you guys so much. I see all the hearts going up. So, when Antarctica enters an official disclosure, which is going to be, again, initiated by the Trump administration, it will not arrive as a Hollywood moment, okay? It is going to be a declassification of all of the anomalous technologies, all of the scientific suppressed discoveries that quietly have rewritten history, admissions of non-human collaborations, and gradual acknowledgement of the Earth as a shared cosmic domain. Antarctica is not the end of secrecy either. It is the beginning, okay, of unveiling the secrecy. And so Antarctica is not a frozen dead end either at the bottom of the world, okay? It is also known as the Earth's southern gate. Just like Greenland is known as the Earth's northern gate, Antarctica is known as the Earth's southern gate. And as revealed in 2 presentations prior, Antarctica holds the first major stargate, which is known as the root chakra gate, okay? For those that have been following all my presentations. So, as the Earth's southern gate, it is a planetary memory core that holds proof of all extraterrestrial life, advanced technologies, and the hidden chapters of human origin. And so, when Antarctica is finally opened, not by explorers, but by truth, the story of who we are, where we come from, and who has been watching will change forever, my friends. Antarctica has never been just a frozen continent at the bottom of the world either, okay? From a high-level cosmic and strategic perspective, it is one of the most important locations on the Earth because It is a planetary keystone where geology, magnetics, ancient infrastructure, and off-world governance converge. To understand Antarctica is to understand how the Earth has been quietly protected, contested, and even stabilized across multiple cycles of civilization. At the most basic level, Antarctica functions as a planetary stabilizer. It is the southern gate. Its position at the southern pole anchors Earth's magnetic field as it is funneled through what? The northern pole, as explained in my prior presentation. So therefore, it regulates rotational balance and it interfaces directly with the planet's crystalline grid. From a cosmic perspective, the polar regions act as pressure valves, allowing extrastellar and interdimensional energy to be safely distributed through the planet's ley lines rather than destabilizing it. Okay, so this alone would make Antarctica strategically invaluable. But beneath the ice lies something much older than that, my friends. Subterranean architectures predating pre-human existence. Long before modern civilization, guys, Antarctica hosted advanced subterranean complexes that were constructed during earlier planetary cycles. And these were not human bases in the modern sense, but multidimensional installations that were designed to monitor planetary frequencies, regulate stargate axes. I've already revealed the 12 stargates in the last presentation. Preserved biological and genetic archives, serve as an emergency sanctuaries during planetary resets. And so therefore, these complexes were carved deep into bedrock and reinforced with materials capable of withstanding pole shifts, glaciation, and even temporal distortion. Many existed partially out of phase, making them invisible to surface detection for millennia, for thousands of years. As ice advanced and civilizations fell, these installations were sealed. Some were abandoned, and others were repurposed. But in the modern era, guys, Antarctica became the convergence point for multiple secret space programs due to three primary factors. The first one is what they called the legal isolation. This is information coming from the Galactic Command. All right, so the first one was known as the legal isolation, which is international treaties that rendered the continent politically neutral, masking covert activity under the guise of scientific research, which led to the development of the Advanced Contact of Intelligence Organization, the ACIO. The second factor is the geophysical shielding. This is where the ice thickness and magnetic interference naturally conceal underground and aerial operations. And the third is called the grid axis. Antarctica sits directly atop major planetary nodes connected to the inner Earth corridors and off-world transit routes. And this is why it became easy for the breakaway groups to begin accessing outer space, okay? So, through high-level compartmentalization, Antarctica was integrated into breakaway defense and spacefaring programs that were serving as a launch and recovery zone for non-conventional craft, a testing ground for gravity-based propulsion systems, a rally hub for off-planet coordination, and a containment zone for technologies deemed unsafe for surface deployment. So therefore, only individuals with cosmic level clearance, often operating outside of standard governmental chains, were aware of the full scope. And so, for much of recent history, Antarctica also housed the remaining stronghold of a regressive non-human entity known as the Draconian reptilians. Well, when the Draconian reptilians first infiltrated our planet 50 million years ago, where do you think they were housed? Where do you think they hid? Well, back then, Antarctica was a tropical rainforest. That's right. Their colony was established in Antarctica. Okay. And up until recently, they were hidden. Okay. They still existed for millions of years. The Draconian reptilians were operating in one of the underground caverns. And so since then, they retreated or have been existing there, controlling the planet without being noticed, okay? And so I hope you guys understand that the Draconian reptilians have established many strongholds all throughout the Milky Way and beyond. And if it wasn't for the Confederation of Worlds, or what we call the Federation of Planets, now the Galactic Alliance, they would have never been defeated, okay? These Draconian reptilians apparently exploded ancient infrastructures using cloaking fields, artificial caverns, and frequency-based life support systems. Their presence persisted not because of strength, my friends, but because Antarctica's isolation allowed them to remain hidden while the Earth's surface civilizations continued existing. Well, that era has now ended, my friends. As Earth is now entering a higher harmonic state due to the ascension, nothing operating on incompatible frequencies could remain concealed anymore. Everything is coming into the open, including the reptilian Draconians. The Antarctic installations, both human and non-human, have gradually been exposed to advanced sensing technologies and off-world oversight. At the highest level, Antarctica transitioned from a contested shadow zone to a secured planetary asset, and this involved sealing unauthorized Stargate access, decommissioning ancient weapon systems, removing non-compliant entities, and transferring select facilities to planetary defense stewardship. Most importantly, this was not an invasion or conquest. It was a reclamation aligned with cosmic law and planetary sovereignty. While the clearing of subterranean interference took place, Antarctica now serves as a new purpose, stabilizing the Earth during solar and magnetic intensifications, anchoring the new Earth grid frequencies, acting as a planetary defense node rather than a covert battlefield, and supporting coordination with off-world guardians and observers. So rather than being a site of secrecy, Antarctica is becoming a silent stabilizer during its work without spectacle, propaganda, or fear narratives. So the truth about Antarctica was never withheld because humanity couldn't handle it, okay? It was withheld because the infrastructures predated modern human civilization. Also because competing factions sought control rather than disclosure, and because premature exposure would have destabilized the planet. And now with the Earth transitioning beyond third density governance structures, the need for absolute secrecy is dissolving, which means that what once hidden for survival is now integrated for continuity. Antarctica is not a mystery land anymore of monsters and myth, okay? It is a planetary systems hub, both ancient and modern, and now fully aligned with the Earth's positive trajectory. So, according to the Jupiter Command, they have initiated what is known as the closing of an ancient galactic cycle. The Galactic Alliance has formally authorized the final purging of remaining negative extraterrestrial forces operating within the Earth's subterranean domains. This operation marks the closing chapter of a cycle that has spun millions of years, all right? One rooted in ancient power struggles, territorial dominance, and the long misuse of Earth as a strategic outpost within a fractured galactic era. So at the center of this operation lies the last known stronghold of a draconian reptilian population who, by the way, were working with the Nazis when the Nazis went to Antarctica. Okay, so this operation lies with the last known stronghold of the draconian reptilian population, long believed to be entrenched deep beneath the Antarctic ice. Well, this region has never been just a frozen continent, because from a planetary perspective, Antarctica functions as a primary anchor point within the Earth's geomagnetic and crystalline grid, which makes it a stabilizing node where ley lines and inner Earth passages and off-world corridors intersect. So, for ages, this made it an ideal refuge for negative extraterrestrials like the Dracos. Beneath the ice existed an artificial subterranean complex with vast caverns that were reinforced with non-terrestrial alloys, cloaked by frequency-based concealment fields, and empowered by suppressed technologies that were inherited from a fallen dominion that once sought control over multiple star systems. We're talking about the Draconians of Orion. These installations were not only defensive but temporal, designed to exist slightly out of phase with surface reality. But the Earth is changing because we are entering a new frequency. We are ascending, my friends. This is what the Galactics call the harmonic shift and the ending of the Earth's compatibility with negative ETs. Can I please get more water? Thank you. So as the Earth enters this harmonic state, right, we are re-entering harmonic universe 2, dimensions 4, 5, and 6. Any entity that is incompatible with the new frequency cannot remain existing. And that is just a galactic fact. Thank you. And this is not a moral judgment, guys. This is a law of physics, part of the laws of physics at the cosmic scale, okay? Planetary bodies that are transitioning into higher density coherence naturally begin to reject distorted or parasitic fields that are not matching the new frequency. So what that means is that what once could hide underground can no longer remain unseen or sustained. And this is the reason why the draconian presence beneath Antarctica understands this. And so therefore, intelligence from the Jupiter Command has confirmed that the escape contingencies were initiated. See, the Draconians were trying to escape the solar flash because they know that the solar flash is going to destroy them, disintegrate them. They know that, okay? So they had some contingency plans to escape through a portal, including plans to evacuate the remaining leadership and genetic archives through ancient Stargate systems before the coming solar flash. So even they know that the solar flash is imminent. And so they know that if they remain here during the solar flash, that they would experience total annihilation due to incompatibility with the Earth's new frequency. So this is precisely why the operation moved from monitoring to action by the Jupiter Command. The Jupiter Command said, "Nuh-uh, you guys aren't escaping. All right, you guys are going to be, you guys are going to be taken by us, and they're going to be facing galactic tribunals for not changing their evil ways." All right, so there was a Jupiter coordination, an interplanetary action that took place. The interplanetary stations positioned near Jupiter that have long been serving as logistical and command hubs for our solar system have been coordinating fleet movements, containment fields, and even corridors, lockdowns across this sector of our galaxy. Which means that Jupiter's massive gravitational and electromagnetic influence makes it a natural command node for large-scale fleet synchronization and dimensional traffic control. So from these stations, the Alliance forces Galactic Alliance have sealed unauthorized Stargate exits, so the Draco couldn't escape. No, they were actually arrested. Also, neutralizing cloaking frequencies, so therefore the veil that they were using to hide is made them visible. Establishing non-interference boundaries around Earth, and preventing off-world extraction of hostile entities and technologies. All right? This is not a conquest. This is containment of the Draconians. So the Galactic Alliance operates under strict non-interference protocols also, which means that Earth's sovereignty is not being violated. It is being restored. This final purge is not an invasion, but a removal protocol enacted only after repeated violations of cosmic law by these entities that refuse reintegration, relocation, or dissolution. So every civilization is ultimately given a choice. And the Draconian reptilians remnant chose defiance, unfortunately for them. So what this means for the New Earth timeline is this. The clearing of this final stronghold in Antarctica represents more than just a military or a strategic victory. It is a timeline stabilization event. With this last shadow infrastructure dismantled, Earth's planetary grid can now be fully synchronized with its higher frequency future, and in turn, this will allow the stabilization of the New Earth timeline, the dissolution of artificial control systems, the restoration of planetary sovereignty, the safe passage through the solar flash, and most importantly, the ending of subterranean interference with surface consciousness. So this means that an ancient chapter is now ending, guys. Okay? Quietly, precisely, and without spectacle, because no one's going to cover this information. The corridors have been sealed by the Galactic Command. The last refuge is cleared as the Earth continues to move upward into the higher densities, higher dimensions. As the cycle is now incomplete, okay, the Galactic Alliance is standing watch. So they also wanted me to share a little bit more about the Jupiter Command and its connection to the Alcyon Command, which is the defense architecture of our local star cluster. So as the Earth enters the final stages of its planetary transition, attention is shifting beyond the surface events to a larger command architecture that is responsible for the maintaining stability throughout our region of the galaxy. At the heart of this structure lies a layered system of oversight, coordination, and defense. One designed to preserve sovereignty while preventing domination by regressive forces. Within this framework, we have the Jupiter Command that functions as the primary defense post for our solar system, while the Alcyon Command serves as the central command authority for our local star cluster, overseeing hundreds of systems and approximately 900 inhabited and developing planets. So bear in mind, guys, that this is not a hierarchy of conquest. It is a structure of guardianship. That's why it's important for you guys to take our cosmic origin class where I break all of this down, right? So the Jupiter Command is in charge of our solar system's defense node. In other words, the Jupiter Command exists as the frontline command and monitoring station for our solar system, positioned near the largest planetary body in our system, which is the largest planetary body in our system. It operates from an optimal gravitational and electromagnetic vantage point, allowing for precise control of interplanetary traffic. And by the way, now they share that responsibility with Solar Warden. So they monitor interplanetary traffic along with Solar Warden since the late 50s. They also monitor Stargate access and corridor regulation, fleet logistics and staging, and threat detection and containment. Jupiter's immense mass enables it to anchor advanced sensor arrays and harmonic stabilizers across our solar system, making it the natural location for a system-wide defense nexus. From this position, the Jupiter Command oversees all inbound and outbound movement affecting Earth and the neighboring worlds, ensuring that no unauthorized entity, technology, or distorted frequency may pass undetected. However, the Jupiter Command does not operate autonomously. Okay, it is a node within a greater network. And this is where the Alcyon, the central command of our local star cluster, comes into play. So, above Jupiter Command, we have the Alcyon Command, Alcyone, the central sun of our local star cluster, which is a functioning node as a central command authority for our local star cluster. From Alcyon, strategic oversight extends across hundreds of star systems, coordinating planetary councils, defense nodes, and even guardian forces throughout our region of the galaxy. So therefore, Alcyon serves as the primary decision-making hub for our local star cluster. It also serves as the harmonic regulator for our neck of the woods, our region of space, and the legal authority for cosmic law enforcement, the coordinating center for multi-system operations. So it is also the first representative within the Council of Nine that resides as an advanced governing body responsible for maintaining balance, abjugating violations of cosmic law, and authorizing interventions when non-interference protocols are being breached. The Council of Nine does not micromanage worlds either, okay? Instead, the Council of Nine intervenes only when actions within one system is threaten the stability of others. Earth's recent history placed it firmly within this threshold, prompting closer coordination between Alcyon and the Jupiter Command. Our solar system operates as a member system within the Alcyon star cluster, which is one of many organized clusters throughout the Milky Way. Each cluster is overseen by a regional council responsible for hundreds of thousands of star systems operating across a vast sector of space. And these regional councils manage interstellar boundaries and treaties, large-scale migration flows, conflict mediation between advanced civilizations, and the preservation of evolutionary timelines. Alcyon reports upward to these regional councils as well, ensuring that decisions affecting our cluster of stars are always aligned with the broader galactic standards while still honoring the local sovereignty. So, at the highest level exists the Galactic Alliance of the Milky Way, once known as the Federation of Worlds, which is a confederation of multiple councils, multiple civilizations, and different guardian orders operating throughout the Milky Way. The Alliance does not function as a centralized empire either. We're talking about the Galactic Alliance, all right? It operates as a cooperative network, integrating countless regions, clusters, and systems into a unified framework of law and balance. Within this structure, planetary commands like the Jupiter command protect individual systems. Cluster commands like the Alcyone coordinate multi-system activity. Regional councils like the Syrian High Council maintains large-scale stability across hundreds of thousands of system clusters. And so therefore, the Galactic Alliance ensures coherence across the entire galaxy. Okay? Each level exists to prevent the rise of unchecked power while allowing civilizations to evolve freely. So therefore, the Earth's transition is not an isolated event, my friends. It reverberates through the solar system, through our local star cluster, the Alcyon cluster, and beyond. As a planet moves into a higher harmonic state, defense, governance, and law must operate in harmony in order to what? To ensure that no unresolved forces destabilize the transition. So that explains why the Jupiter command is the ultimate safeguard for our solar system, while the Alcyon command is the safeguard for our local star cluster, and why the Galactic Alliance is the safeguard of the entire Milky Way. Capiche? Together they form a living architecture designed not for war, but for continuity. Continuity. God, I could never pronounce that word. Continuity. So Earth is no longer operating on the margins of galactic awareness. Its evolution has activated long-standing oversight mechanisms that now function openly within their mandate, which means that now that we've cleared the Draco-reptilian presence existing in Antarctica, the node is now secure, guys. The cluster is now realigned, and the galaxy remains balanced. Now, I do want to address something. Since I do read the comments, people have been asking me what's going on in Zeta Reticula, where the grays come from, right? The Zeta Reticula star system 1 and 2. Well, those systems have been liberated by the Galactic Alliance and the super soldiers of Solar Warden 6 months ago, when they decided to bring peace to the entire galaxy. I did mention 6 months ago, guys, that the galactic wars have ended in favor of the light. Okay, so all of the wars that have been happening within the sectors of Zeta Reticula 1 and 2 have been purged as well. So now the Jupiter command stands vigilant. The Alcyon command is maintaining command over our system of stars, and the Galactic Alliance is now holding harmony across the Milky Way. Now they are just waiting for the liberation of the Earth. This is why every ancient text, including the Bible, talked about the last battle taking place here on the Earth. So, in conclusion, regarding the Antarctica Stargate, the inner Earth corridors, and the architecture of planetary transit as we are getting ready to ascend as a collective. Antarctica is not just a geographical pole, also, it is a planetary interface, okay? As mentioned, beneath its ice lies a layered transit architecture that connects the Earth internally and externally, integrating stargates, inner Earth corridors, and off world relay systems into a single, tightly regulated network. This system predates modern civilization and was designed to survive planetary resets, pole shifts, and long epochs of surface amnesia. So, what follows is a high clearance overview of how this architecture works. And they allowed me to explain it to you guys, okay? And this is why it has been central to the Earth's present transition that is happening right now as I speak. So, here are more disclosures regarding Antarctica's Stargate complex. Antarctica hosts primary class Stargate anchors, not public portals, okay, but deeply embedded structures fused into bedrock and crystalline strata. I hope you guys are taking notes. These gates are not doors in the cinematic sense. They are frequency locked transit fields that open only when precise harmonic conditions are met. Key characteristics are multi-band axis capable of interfacing with stellar corridors, interdimensional lanes, and even inner Earth routes. Harmonic keys. Activation depends on planetary resonance, stellar alignment, and command authorization, not physical switches. Fail-safe design. Gates auto-collapsing when surrounding frequencies fall out of tolerance, preventing hostile extractions or intrusion. And so historically, these gates were used for emergency evacuations during planetary instability. Thank you guys for all the love. I see all the hearts. You guys are loving this presentation. Guardian deployments and observation rotations. So this is historically what these gates were used for. Transport of genetic archives and cultural records. And so as the Earth's frequency rose and is continuing to rise, unauthorized gates usage become impossible, triggering automatic lockdowns long before over intervention. So let's talk about the subterranean network. Okay, this is Antarctica unveiled. Beneath the lies, beneath the lies that they feed us. That's the truth, guys. Everything we've been fed is a lie. All right. So beneath the Antarctica lies a junction hub connecting to an extensive inner Earth corridor system. These passages are not natural caves. They are engineered conduits. Some are physical, others are phase shifted, linking polar regions to equatorial nodes and interior biospheres. So, functions of the corridor system are rapid planetary transit without surface exposure, energetic buffering during solar and magnetic surges, civilizational continuity, allowing inner Earth societies to remain stable while surface worlds collapse. And corridors are also stabilized by crystal lattices that respond to the Earth's magnetic field. So when the field destabilizes, the corridors begin to tighten. When coherence increases, axis broadens, always under planetary law. So when regressive forces lost surface control, Antarctica offered three advantages. The first one was isolation under international neutrality. This is the reason why the Nazis went there, okay? The second one was magnetic concealment that masked energy signatures. And the third one was legacy infrastructure compatible with non-human biology, as to why the Draco reptilians were able to hide there for a long, long time. And while they were using cloaking fields and frequency dampeners, these remnants attempted to wait out the Earth's transition. Their end game was not conquest, but escape. Again, they failed to escape because the Jupiter command was able to arrest them. Okay. So high clearance intelligence has confirmed that contingency plans were in place to infiltrate leadership and genetic materials through a polar stargate before the solar flash. This is what they were planning on doing, guys. And for those that don't know what the solar flash is, well, this is an event that would otherwise render incompatible life forms unsustainable within the Earth's new field. Okay? And they knew that. That's why they were trying to escape, because they know that the solar flash is near. So as planetary harmonics cross critical thresholds, automatic planetary safeguards engaged. The inner Earth corridors narrowed to authorized traffic only. Stargate harmonics began to shift beyond hostile tolerance, and cloaking fields collapsed under coherent resonance. Command nodes outside of the system began to synchronize containment fields, ensuring no unauthorized egress. And this was not an act of aggression. It was a lawful closure, guys. Okay. Cosmic law always permits evacuation only when it does not destabilize the host world or exports unresolved distortions. Well, in this case, the Draconian reptilians violated every law. Okay. So that's why Antarctica became the final checkpoint of the regressives, of the negative aliens. I have a fly right in front of me. See if I could grab it. See how fast my ninja skills are. Oh, I grabbed it, guys. I just grabbed a moth fly in midair. That's pretty cool. All righty. I guess my ninja skills are still intact. All right, let's continue here. I'm almost done, guys. I know some of you guys have questions for me. I could see it in the chat. Thank you for all the love and all the likes that I'm getting. Thank you. Thank you. So we are now anchoring the new Earth grid frequencies, my friend. Okay. This is the transition as the planet becomes stabilized into its new frequency. So what this means is that the Antarctica infrastructure is now transitioning to a planetary defense and stabilization. Okay, acting as a pressure release node during solar intensification. It's also acting or is helping to anchor in the new Earth grid frequencies, right? As the as the solar flares funnel in through the North Pole and exit out through the South Pole. It's also allowing for a lawful transit under Guardian oversight, which is awesome. So the same gates. So the same gates. One second here. Oh, okay. So the same gates that once served emergency evacuation are now being restored and relocated, used for balancing the energy flow and not to extract power or beings anymore. Okay, that is the good news. This is the end of what they call the shadow transit era. The Antarctic network is marking the end of covert planetary transit. Which means that Earth is no longer a permissive environment for hidden corridors. Unregulated stargates, or even shadow civilizations operating out of phase with the surface world. Okay, that is great news. This closure has galaxy-wide implications because what's happening here on the Earth is affecting the greater systems, the other systems. Okay. Um, it is beginning to stabilize the nearby star systems that are all connected to the Earth, as well as it is preventing leakage of unresolved conflicts into adjacent sectors of the Milky Way. And it is signaling that the Earth's readiness to operate transparently within a lawful cosmic framework is at hand. Is at hand. I am so excited once again to deliver the great news coming from the Jupiter Command. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, evening, or morning, wherever you're at in the world. I do want to welcome all 2,600 folks that are in the house. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will give some shout outs. I'm going to try to shout out to people that I've never shouted out before. I see Eddie Suarez in the house. I see Cindy Liberty is in the house. Nazy 1155. Roy's Toys Comics 1361 is in the house. NP6222-P3H is in the house. Some of you guys have really interesting YouTube names here. Polenta.Forest is in the house. Jose Fine 6344 is in the house. Sheila Marie 313 is in the house. ML Housden 9772 is in the house. Brian Speck 992 is in the house. I told you guys I was going to give shout outs to people that I've never shouted out before. Shakina Blue Sophia 2371 is in the house. And last but not least, I see at Fluff Pup 2317 is in the house. Awesome. I see that 100 people have jumped out. I guess they only want the presentation. They don't care about Q&A, which is fine. All right, guys. It's time for Q&A. Ellen Judge 1611 is in the house. All right, final shout out. All right, time for Q&A. If you guys have questions, I have answers. Well, at least I hope I do. Oh, and by the way, I do wanted to thank Janice E. Horner for her donation. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. And I also wanted to thank Edward Wusick for his donation. Thank you so much, Edward Wusick. Appreciate that. Ishmael, how soon will the Melchizedek priesthood and spirituality be established here on earth? Also the divine feminine. We are there. We are there. As soon as the earth becomes restored to her original dimensions 4, 5, and 6, the Melchizedek priesthood and high priestesshood will once again be rebalanced. The feminine will once again be balanced with the divine masculine. So the Melchizedek sisterhood and brotherhood will be pretty much governing. They will be the council of the 22 federated regions. It will be under the priesthood of Melchizedek and the New Earth Council. Canadian Mouse says Q&A is the best part. Fair enough. All right, first super chat. Kathleen Tracy 4733. Thank you so much. Joyful, thank you so much for your super chat. If you had an abortion and you know your child is a spirit guide on the 10th dimension, can you still reunite and have a full life with them when you ascend? Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, when you have an abortion, is an indicator that the soul did not sign the contract to experience human form in 3D. So yeah, you will see them again in their original avatar, which is 5D or above. Good question, Joyful. I also have another super chat from Jacob Scherer. Thank you so much for your super chat, but no question. Okay. Let's continue here. Ishmael, what is the 12th creation? The 12th creation is the creation that we are a part of. Our universe hangs within the 12th creation. In fact, if you guys take our cosmic origin class, I describe all 12 creations. I go deep into the cosmic history there. And did I mention I'm not going to be teaching until 3 weekends from now? Okay. So my next set of classes begin the 28th of February and the 1st of March. For those that are interested in signing up, they are up for grab. Only $100 a class. You can't go wrong. And come to find out, guys, I teach the most advanced knowledge on the planet. I've been told by multiple people in my class that there is nobody out there that teaches the information that I do. So that is a compliment. So again, my classes are cheap, only $100. And that only requires 2 weekends of your time for only 2 hours, either a Saturday or a Sunday. You pick. So go to my website or cosmicorigin.com to access your class. I also wanted to thank Dan Manson, #1, for his super chat. He says, so glad to be in the house. Good job getting that moth. Oh, you're welcome. I was fast. I was like, Bruce Lee style. We love you, but be real with us. Are you an alien or are you a human like us? Well, you know what? We're all aliens, guys, okay? If you're a star seed, that means you have an alien soul that is operating in a human body. And a little bit about myself is that I am part of an off-world super soldier program that extended from other universes. So I was conceived in, I don't want to say an alien mothership, but in a way I was, where they, spliced and sliced my genetics, adding genes from different celestials. So in that regard, I'm one of 100 individuals, you could say. So yeah, I am part of an off-world secret space program, or may I say off-world super soldier program, not secret space program, super soldier program, known as Cosmic Rescue Mission. So yeah, we're all multidimensional beings, by the way. We're all multidimensional beings. Thank you so much, Quozin, for your super chat. During the timeline convergence into the three, I guess it's called the trifurcation of timelines, not bifurcation. I got to get it right. How will it be perceived? If one has biological family who resonates on the negative timeline and us who resonate with the positive 4D5, like, do they die? No, they don't die. They just disappear. But if they're generally good people, there is a high likely chance that they will at least end up in the 4D timeline, which means that you will be able to pop into their reality at will. Joyful, thank you so much again for your super chat. When we ascend, we will be reunited with our family that have died. But when they died, do you know what dimension they went to? And do all souls that die that are good people go to the same dimension? That all depends on where they volunteered from. So let's just say that your family or your loved one that passed away was a young soul. Okay. If they were generally good people, they went to the 4D earth. If they were a starseed soul, an advanced soul, then they went back to either the 5D earth, 6, 7, or wherever they came from. So when you go into the 5D earth, if they want to, they could pop into your reality. Let's just say they are from the 8D earth, which is Gaia earth. They could pop into the Terra earth and interact with you if they want to. Good question, Joyful. Yeah, ultimately, we all go back to source. That is true. No one is really talking about Three Eye Atlas now. Well, that's because all the attention is on Antarctica. I mean, Greenland, sorry. Yeah, all the attention right now is on Greenland, the Epstein file list. Now Elon Musk was friends with Epstein. Every day something new comes up, all right? Also, it seems like all the attention is also on the collapsing of the Fiat system. I don't know if you guys have been watching alternative news media, but it seems like the ending of the Fiat system is here, guys. Finally, the financial collapse is at hand, which means that the GCR, Nasera Gesera, is also at hand. Which reminds me, I got to put a presentation for Monday Night Why Hat Update. We're going to go deep. But today is a galactic update report, okay? We can't change subjects. I got to save the political stuff for Monday Night Why Hat Alliance update. Today, we are talking about ascension, spirituality, galactic stuff. But just to answer your question, Three Eye Atlas hasn't left our solar system. It's still here. Like I said, it's probably going to be here till March. I just read a question. Where is Three Eye Atlas? It is still docked around Alcyon. Right now, the scientists are going cuckoo because they don't understand why Three Eye Atlas is now, it's not moving anymore. It is literally docked. It is docked near Jupiter. Thank you so much, Koi Zen, for the super chat. Any reports and all the details about Trump and the new Epstein files and why that has got out one of his negative clones activities, my guess. Who knows, guys? Again, tonight I'm going to keep it non-political. We're going to save that for Monday night Y Hat update. But that'll give me 2 days to gather more information. Okay. Yeah, Trump was also the first to expose Epstein. That is correct. And again, guys, if you think that there's only one Donald Trump, then you're still drinking the Kool-Aid, right? There's multiple Trumps. There's multiple Trumps. If us starseeds don't make it or die before the shift, will we just go back to the dimension that we came from? This is a question from Leah. Or will we get stuck on a lower dimension because of karma? Um, if you die, if you're a starseed and you die before the shift, well, if you didn't commit suicide, then yes, you're just going to go back to the dimension that you came from. But if you committed suicide, then you're going to have to come back as a human and relearn your lessons. But how can that happen? Because this is the final incarnation. The best thing to do is not to off yourself, okay? Just let it happen naturally. Hopefully, none of you guys pass away. I hope that every single one of you experiences the transition, the restoration, the activation of our dormant DNA. Ishmael, is it possible for the Galactic Federation to send some soldiers to clean up Minnesota? Um, no, because that is our mess. Well, not our mess, the mess of the deep state and the sanctuary cities. So the Y hats have to clean up Minnesota. The Galactic Alliance could only deal with negative regressive ETs, like they cleared up the Antarctica colony of reptilians. We have to clear up Minnesota, right? We, as in the human Y hat team. So many good questions tonight. I wanted to extend gratitude to Wolf Mother and Starcadian for smashing them trolls. Is Starcadian is even in the house? No, he's not. Well, thank you, Wolf Mother, for being here as a moderator. When will the solar flash happen? Well, we are expecting it any day now. So just always be prepared. And again, it's going to happen when no one least expects it. But all the signs are gearing towards that. If you guys watch space weather, the solar flares are just increasing by the day. What if you do not want to see your departed family members? Well, then you just don't pop into their reality, depending on where they went. Being human is a beautiful multiversal experience. That is correct, Master Light L says. Chicky Yankee, thank you so much for your super chat. What a nice name, Chicky Yankee. um, in the soul trap still active? No, the soul trap that was held together by the Saturn moon matrix has been dismantled. This is another super chat from Poison. What would it look like perceptually when this reality construct falls in 2028? Describe in poof from your desk if it were to happen there. Huh? Well, no. Consciousness will always continue to exist. So you either go into timeline A, organic positive timeline, or you go into timeline B, negative technocratic dystopia. But I don't think any of you guys are going into that timeline. Or you go to neutral timeline C, which is fourth density Earth, where both AI and superhumans are going to exist, and Earth Terrans are going to exist all at the same time. Timeline C, the middle timeline. So no, you're just going to be translating from one reality to the next. That is correct. Consciousness is infinite. Thank you for that beautiful reminder. Do you think our food supply will be cleaned up? Absolutely, yes. Is the tropical, I love questions that are related to the subject. Is the tropical rainforest in Antarctica in another dimension? And where did it exist? Thank you for all you do. No, it's not in another dimension. It's just covered over by ice. But now that the ice is melting, we're going to begin to see it. So, in other words, the three timelines will be fully separating into their own from 2028. Well, they are beginning to separate now. But yeah, 2028 is the deadline. That's when they're going to be completely existing in their own lane. They're not going to be coexisting as they are now. I have another super chat from Marty Litty 4288. Thank you so much. I have enjoyed being in service to Gaia and humanity. I appreciate your service, my friend. Thank you. Are there any recent new crop circles that correlate with current events? I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look into that. Who or why is the ice melting now? Well, because the solar flash, the sun is heating up the core of the earth. And so that in turn is causing the ice caps to melt. So Eckhart Tolle was on point. Yeah, I think he wrote The New Earth, right? Thank you, Ishmael, for the info. Oh, you guys are so welcome. Positive organic timeline, 100%. Jill Hunt. Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes, we are still on track for the positive timeline trajectory. Today is January 31st, 2048. And yes, I mean 2026. I'm sorry, I'm no longer in 3D reality. I forget the date or the year. Time doesn't exist for me anymore, guys. But according to 3D time, it is January 31st. God, it's the last day. Tomorrow's the 1st of February. Uh, 2026 AD, to be exact. And yes, we are still on a positive timeline trajectory. Thank you so much, MK Lotus. Oh, we have an MK Lotus in the house. Thank you so much for your super chat, sister. So, Lotus is a female name. My cat Lotus happens to be a female. We just discovered that about a week ago. We looked at Lotus, and we said, "Oh, there's no phallus. There's no balls." Okay, so and she's got nipples. I'm like, she's a female. Only Rue has balls. You guys know what I mean? Only Rue has a phallus. So we made that discovery about a week ago. So I guess sometime in the near future, we're probably going to have a kitty litter, right? But right now they're young still and they're innocent. All they do is play with each other. So yeah, Lotus is a female cat. So we have a boy and a girl. Perfect, perfect match. And they love each other. Does your soul recognize solar flash so any similar tricks would be discarded? I think all of you will recognize the solar flash when it does happen. Your consciousness will just pop open up again. Right now, your consciousness is locked in into a limited frequency. When the solar flash hits, your consciousness is just going to go boom. How do I know your cat's gender? Well, all you have to do is look underneath. One of them has a phallus and testicles, and the other one doesn't. The one who doesn't has also nipples. The one that is a male has no nipples. That's how you can tell. I mean, it's plain and simple, guys. It doesn't take rocket science to know if your cat is a female or male. Yes, they are brother and sister. Same litter. That is correct. Yes. They say boy cats have nipples too. I didn't know that. Well, Rue doesn't have nipples. Maybe he's hiding them. All right, I do have another super chat from Kathleen Maiochi. She says, "Great presentation. Thank you, Ishmael, and much love to all the Jedi's." You are so welcome. Thank you so much, Wise Songbird, for your super chat. Also, no question, though. Okay, thank you for your generosity. Thank you so much, Koizen, for your super chat. Ishmael, the misuse in I love, the misuse in I love the show. Thank you for your service. You're welcome. She has one question to ask. What role do New Earth souls coming in now have as their missions? Well, a lot of the new souls that are coming in are really advanced souls. They're coming in from the highest dimensional realities. A lot of the kids are being born super psychic, super advanced. in preparation for the new Earth frequency. So they're here to also anchor in even higher Earth realities beyond the fifth, as the Earth does exist in higher dimensions. So a lot of these new kids are really advanced souls, to answer your question. And they have a huge role to play in the transition of Mother Earth into the higher harmonics. Update on EBS. I'm gonna have to look into that. As mentioned, one of the greatest things that is happening right now is that the fiat is finally coming down. There's going to be a financial reset pretty soon, so that could be the EBS. But yeah, 2 days from now, I'm going to be giving a Y hat report, so I'll be able to touch more on that. Greetings, Ishmael. God bless you. Please inform us about why it is that innocent animals suffer so much, and have the seemingly genuine Indian gurus already ascended to higher dimensions? Oh, two questions. Well, why do humans suffer so much? It is part of experiencing life in the mammalian kingdom, right? When we are experiencing life in flesh and blood as mortals, it's part of the spectrum of life. We have suffering as much as we have joy or pleasure, right? We experience it all. The second part of your question is, has the genuine Indian gurus already ascended to higher dimensions? Um, that all depends on the guru. Some gurus are like the ascended masters, and some gurus are just making money off of people without fully incorporating the highest levels of consciousness. You guys are so welcome. I see a lot of thank you for another great presentation. You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome. So, before I end this presentation or this live, again, I'm going to be going live Monday for a Y Hat Alliance update. And then I'm going to, instead of going live next Wednesday, guys, I'm going to be going live with, I already mentioned, with the Global Peace Tribe, Billy Carson, Deborah Gusti, and others through the Global Peace Tribe Network. So if you guys want to be a part of that, it's free. It's a YouTube, right, channel. So just go to the Global Peace Tribe Network and access their YouTube channel. And I will be live February the 4th from 6 p.m. Pacific time. So that's what I'm going to be doing next Wednesday. I'm not going to be going live on my channel. I'm going to be going live here with these other people. And then also, guys, as revealed earlier, I've been working on 2 books. One is the autobiography, my own personal cosmic journey from a kid to now. And for only 20 individuals on the 15th of this month, which is on a Sunday, for 90 minutes, I'm going to be doing a thorough presentation of what my life was from a toddler to the age of 12 for only 20 people, and that's it. And you guys can access that through my website, our cosmicorigin.com. And then I can't wait to see you guys on that live presentation, special live presentation. And yeah, the folium, guys. The folium is all up for grab right now. The special is still going on. I always put the links in the description, and I also pin it in the comments at the end of the live. So, with that having been said, I believe it is time for me to go. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. May the God Force be with each and every single one of you. And I will see you guys in 2 nights for a Y Hat Alliance update. Bye, guys.